Good evening. You're very welcome to Bridges of Light this evening. And we're going to continue on this journey, the soul's journey. Do you ever ask yourself what it's about? Why does different things happen to us? What does it mean? What lessons in it? But that's another day's story. This evening we're going to be working with creating your sacred space. And a part of that, I feel we actually do find when we create that sacred space, we find answers that we don't be aware that we need to look to find the answers for ourselves. Because it is an ongoing journey. It's a journey that has sometimes major ups and downs, and each time there's a lesson to learn, and that's why I feel creating the sacred space within is so important for us all to be able to go to that place. And we'll talk a little bit more about it in what it is and what it is for you, because it is your journey, not mine. So, every one of us has a different approach to how we go to that space. But in the meantime, I'd like to say hello to Leslie and Sonia, Letitia. You're very welcome, and we hope that we'll be able to get the most out of this evening. We have on I suppose our DNA, the whole reality of creation a sacred space. And when I started thinking of this, hi Lena and Anna Maria, lovely to see you all here. And to find your space, we'll work with that over the evening. Fran and Tizania, hi, and you're very welcome. When we think back of when we were a child, or if with our children, what do we do with them to create their calm? Generally, what they have is something that soothes them. It may be a blanket, it may be a soft toy. It's generally something that we give them, and that induces the dimension of peace and tranquility. So it's not something that creating a sacred space is nothing magical about what we do for it. It's that we go inwards for it. And one of the things I found over the years was that I wouldn't always be at home. As anyone that knows me, I can be in a lot of different places in a very short space of time. So when I would look to go to that inner space, I would have to have something that was quite small, quite easy to mobilize. So my feeling of when you're doing it, hi Bernie, you're very welcome. When you're looking at how to create that space, and I do feel that, especially in the beginning, but I've done it over the years, I think habit is created. I have a few items that identifies for me that I'm taking that time and that space. So for me, I would have, I would carry this around with me. It's just a little pouch that a very good friend gave to me when I was leaving England. And it means a lot. It's part of friendship. It's part of, I suppose it's part of the key to in my inner being. And I also, Mother Earth, I have great affinity with Mother Earth. I don't get into, what I suppose, the whole dimension of in shamanic, where you go into journey, and I just feel I just need to take the stone and put it in my hand. And anyone that's seen me working mediumistically will often see me just having the stone in my hand. Another little thing that I don't know if you can actually, but it's a little angel, just a little angel, again given by a friend. And when I'd be going for to sit in my sacred space, I usually would have either a leaf or a flower, something that would mean that connection. Hi, Ona, Amarella, Liberty Michelle. Hi, y'all. Lovely to see you all just gathering here. And in Ireland, we have quite a windy night, quite a cold night. And even though I have the heating on, I've got my blanket shawl to wrap around me, because it just is that bit of cold that I'm not too happy with, so I can wrap up for to protect. But creating your sacred space, it means you go inwards. And in order to calm our minds, this is where I feel personally, if you have things that's symbolic for it, it actually helps you to go to that place quickly, rather than having to sit maybe for 15-20 minutes to actually calm the mind down first. To me, when I have these items, it automatically instills that in me. Yes, you can do it without having the trimmings, no problem with that. But if you have difficulty with your mind going here, there and everywhere, which I would have, I find that symbology is what works well for me. And if you find that there's something that within your, we'll say, your lifetime that means something very, very special, it's lovely to connect with that within that sacred space. And when you're there, you're able to access answers to a lot of day-to-day problems, because you're connecting with your guides, you're connecting with the celestial beings of angels. You're able to connect with them when you stop all the clatter and noise and problems that's you're going through at the minute. You're able to still that, because we're human. In reality, we have a lot of things happening in us, between work, between family, between trying to manage everything at the same time. So it's probably one of the really healing factors is to go into that space and find yourself, that you can ease yourself into the place for healing, the place where you can commune with your loved ones, because it's very easy to connect with them when you're in that space and find yourself that it is the tranquility and I feel is the peace that allows you to take a step further. I just want to check in here. Ona, you wrote something here. Think of my uncle during our meditation. Definitely, because it is about healing, and we will send out our healing thoughts. We'll mention it before we actually start. Marie, I don't want to be afraid of this screen. It has a way of going opposite to me. Tony, Maria, Kerry, and Elena. I hope I'm pronouncing these names right. Magda, and we're all going to come together in the energy that we can create for ourselves as a group. And what you would find that sometimes you will be able to really check into this energy that when we come collectively together, that we're able to tap into that energy. Because remember, memory can play a big part. Just stop for a moment and think of someone that you love that's not around you. I'm not saying they're in the spirit world, but just they're not around you today. And your memory can bring you that lovely feeling of when they were present with you. So that's you can work with healing. When we come together collectively in the meditation, you can tap into that memory of how it felt for you. So that is what you can use for the healing, for your own healing especially. Okay, Owen is just saying that the coverage is in and out, that the reception is poor. As you know, and I think the west of Ireland is getting it worse than here. Luce, you're very welcome. If you just let me know if there's a problem with the coverage. Hopefully, I just hope, we've had problems in the past, but hopefully, okay, so Bernie's having problems too with it. I hope you're able to keep with me. It seems to be okay here. It's not dropping here. So let's just, maybe what I'll do is I'll just talk for another few minutes, right, Fran? I think it's probably the storm. I can hear the wind whistling down the chimney here. Okay, I think probably what's best then is to go into the space of healing, and we'll go into the meditation. Hi, Letitia. We'll go into the space where we'll meditate, and that will give you, you don't need as much of the connection, because you'll be on your own journey. And when we're going to work this evening, we are going to work with going to our sacred space. The strength of it, allow yourself to surrender to it. There's nothing to be afraid of to go inwards. Sometimes we're fearful of what we feel or what we may feel or trigger. Just allow yourself to be. And we're going to look for our healing guides and helpers to come in collectively and work with us. So earlier than usual, it's just 7:15. We'll get started into our meditation. As our Italian friends, are you having problems with the coverage? Because Letitia and Magda, it just may be in different areas. As I say, Ireland is getting it quite stormy at the moment. Antonella, it's lovely to see you here. It's and Sheila. We'll just get started on the meditation. And if there's breakage in the coverage, just allow yourself to stay in the space. Allow yourself to be present in your own body, because this is what it's about. It's about going in. It's about physically being aware of yourself from your head to your toes, because that's where we have to take our bodies into the whole dimension of what you're letting go of. When we meditate, we have to recognize this physical aspect of ourselves, and it's when we recognize that we actually can let it relax. The biggest problem we have in meditation is there's an ache here or there's an ache there. you acknowledge that. You don't try to resist it. You don't try, oh, I wish it would go away or whatever. You just acknowledge it and allow yourself to keep moving onwards. If you just think of drifting, that would be the easiest way of recognizing it, is that you're drifting. So we just sit now in your chair with your feet firmly on the ground, flat on the ground, and we will have our music where, as I say, it is quite windy, so hopefully we'll be able to stay on air. And the music starts off with the sound of wind. So now just feeling the energy that you're here today to find your sacred space, to find that place of inner peace, but also a place where you can commune with your guides and helpers. So before we start, invite them to join you on this journey. As we sit now to go on this journey, let us take into our loving arms the people who are ill, let it be in mind, in body. Let us ask our guides to share the healing with them. Make this precious place that we're going to go on a journey to, let it be the catalyst for healing for many. So starting in awareness, your feet firmly on the ground, and being aware of being in contact with Mother Earth, allowing that connection to build and to get stronger so that you work in unity with it. And draw up that energy up through your legs, into your thighs, and up into your body. And now as we come up to the shoulders, just be aware of anywhere that may feel tense. Just allow that tension to flow with the outward breath, releasing and relaxing. And we now take the energy from our fingertips up to our shoulders, and finding that connection. And we're going to draw up through our heads to the crown chakra, connecting with the divine energy. Your body's gradually becoming more at ease. And you're on a journey to find that inner peace. Now we are going to start the journey to find the place that we can connect with the divine within. The space where all is one. And where we can leave problems of today with Mother Nature and allow her to look after them while you're on this journey. So first of all, just feel the energy that's around your solar plexus, which is just below your rib cage, under your heart. That energy that connects the energy from Mother Earth to the energy of the divine. Just feel the energy starting to build. You're becoming aware of the power and of the peace that it's creating at the same time. If you wish at this point in time to connect with your guide, so that it's going to be a time and space where you can feel the closeness and also feel the power of healing. Feel the freedom. It's like moving back in time, where you had no cares. Your mind was free. And you were in the present, enjoying life. Being in that space allows you the awareness of what love is. Just allow yourself to feel that. energy from the solar plexus to expand outwards, so that you have a circle of energy all around you. Energy that's getting stronger, and also making your mind just step into the background, so that as you listen to the music, you allow your energy to flow with the music, to be relaxed and be at ease. Being in this space, ask your guide what they would like to say to you at this present time. Leaving your cares behind, just focus on what you're feeling your guide is saying to you. Now just moving forward, just allow your guide now to take you on a journey. This journey is about going to a space where you're able to relax and to feel at ease. That space that you're going to is your choice. And remember that you're connected at all times to where you were, but you're allowing your guide to take you on the journey, remaining connected to where you were sitting at the beginning. Again, listen to what your guide is saying to you. And as you're listening, just ask them to help your sense of hearing to go beyond the physical day-to-day world, so that your hearing becomes more clear and you're able to commune with your guide as whenever you need to. So your sense of hearing will become more acute and become more aware of what you're being told from your higher power. Now ask your guide to take you into your deeper sense of being. To a place where you trust your guide to be by your side, so that you become aware of the power of your spirit. You're going to that place where it is all light and peaceful. Being in that space where you're at one with yourself and your guides and your angels. In that space, begin to feel the power. Begin to feel the sense of the energy of your spirit. The deep power of love. The power of understanding. That sense of the essence of your soul. Be aware of your wisdom of your spirit. Wisdom that gives you divine direction. The direction that will take you on your soul's journey to wherever it needs to be. Now, as you see a box shaped like a small trunk, just you see that sitting in front of you. And open the lid of the box, and inside you'll find a piece of paper with words written on it. And the words that's written on it comes from the divine. Words of healing, words of understanding, and words that shows you the unconditional love that is always present for you. That essence of love that is there through thick and thin, being aware that your guides are there to help you. Now keeping those words in your mind, we're going to go on a little walk to an oak tree standing in the center of a field. The oak tree will represent that inner power that exists within you. that energy, that you're still connected from where you started the meditation. What you're going to do with the oak tree is to give it a gift. The gift can be anything that you want it to give. Just be aware that the essence of the energy that you're with is the power of your spirit. As you stand there at the oak tree, invite a loved one from the spirit world. Invite them to join you as you stand there. And being aware of your heightened sense of hearing. You listen to what they have to say. Just allow them to draw close. And invite them into your sacred space. Remember that connection of love that existed when they were here with you. It has grown stronger and stronger. So they're always with you and always looking after you. Ask them what it is that you can take with you when you want to go to your sacred space. Ask them to tell you what they feel that you're connected with to take you into the sacred space that you want to go into. as you're walking back now, back to your seat where you began, thank the spirit that came to you. Thank them for being with you. Acknowledge to them the love that's forever present between you. And remember what they have told you. So now you're taking the steps back to where you started. Remembering that you were connected at all times through the solar plexus. So as you come back to the chair, you allow the energy in the solar plexus to come back to a level where you feel comfortable and at ease with. Being aware of the sensitivity of this chakra and the need to have it in a space where you feel that your energy is protected and that you're back in your own space. You're aware that you're coming back into the presence of your own body, just remembering what was written on the piece of paper. Remembering what your loved one told you. Keep those experiences in your mind now so that you will be able to work with them in time to come. To gradually come back into awareness. Just moving your toes and your fingers and follow that movement through your body. And thank those who are with you on this journey. Everyone feeling okay? I felt with there was a choice. There was a time where the box that had the written note inside. I don't know if anyone felt it, but there was flowers within the box. But just as I was going to say about the flowers, they disappeared and the note came in. So I feel for some reason that there was the flowers of it was like petals of tulip that was lying in the box, but then they disappeared. So there was a significance somewhere along, and I always feel with tulips, because there's such a variety of colour in them. For me, they're symbolic of healing, because the colours, solely because they're so diverse in colour. So along the way, and I know, with Owen, his uncle is ill, but it's much more. It is much more than just the one person. It was like it was for us all. And I know, all right, from my own experiences too of being in needed healing at the moment, but I feel there's a lot of healing needed within the group this evening. All I'd say to you is, on that level, is to just to sit with that power. Don't be in any hurry to leave it. Sit in the power, and when you come out of it, to drink plenty of water, to leave yourself that your energy is replenished. Going into the sacred space is about going in where it's like a well that's really bottomless, but it's like that, going to that place where you know that you're safe in it, you know that this is the real you. And for many people, you have to put on a mask every day with family and friends and colleagues, and that needs to be, that's okay to do it, but it needs to have the essence behind it that is healing for you, because you're putting up, in that process, you're putting up with a lot of things that doesn't feel right. And doing that, you need to be aware that it takes its toll on you if you don't try to work with it. We've had a good few joining us. There's Christina here, Carmela, Elizabeth Beta, I think I pronounced it, Antonella, Marilena, Bernice, Devaki, and so you've joined at different stages. It was a different meditation than normal. Don't know what it's about. I just hand over, and I just say I do what I'm told, which is the only time I do it. But there's something, just be aware for yourself, because whatever it is about the hearing, just allow yourself to feel, to be in that space where you can hear. If you sat and in meditation and solely worked on healing, developing your hearing, becoming more sensitive in it, you could actually hear far more than you hear in everyday life. If the energy just expands and you're able to hear far more outwards from you. So it's just maybe do that exercise for yourself, to sit in your space and work with just developing that dimension of yourself. We work as mediums in many ways of communicating, and sometimes it can be on the psychic level where this happens as well, where your hearing develops and you're going into that space, we'll say, to work. and your hearing becomes much more sensitive than it normally would be. So just your homework, can I say that a bad word, homework? Just sit with that sense. Even if you sat for 10-15 minutes in the day and was able to take that space and to go in, it's a very beautiful place to be, and no one can take it away from you when you find it. Believe me, it is lovely. Just before we finish, is everyone okay? Yeah. I hope the link stayed intact. As I say, I don't know what it's like in Europe. You're welcome, Bernie. And I hope you got enough from it, didn't break down too much on you. Yeah, we've had a bit of a storm coming our way, so I hope in France, we've Leslie in France, and we have Sonia and the girls. Hi Rachel, how are you? Yeah, it's just, it is a lovely space to go to, but as I say, I just found it strange this evening. I don't know why. Maybe we're to find out later on what it's about, but it's lovely having you all join, and the collective energy is just something that's, go into it when you're in that space. Just go into it in memory, and it will work with you. That's not so bad, Bernie. Yeah, it was okay. It's usually me that has it dropping, but no, thankfully now we seem to have corrected it. Fingers crossed and hands crossed. Who's feeling? That's your French coming in deep. Okay. Anna Maria, thank you so much for your deep meditation. I hope we'll see you next week. A very big hug, and have a nice weekend. Bless you, Anna Maria. Thank you. I'd say you're probably moderating this evening for me. Have a lovely, thank you to everyone, because as I say, there's a number of people behind the scenes here, and for everyone, grateful appreciation for the work that's put into it. And I also like to thank Philip Newell for allowing me to use the music without all the trappings that goes with royalties and copyright. Thank you all, and have a lovely weekend, and I hope it's not too stormy where you are, and I'll see you next week. Going to talk a little bit, and I don't know a lot about it, so that makes great sense, doesn't it? But the moon is something of a great affinity with, and next week we'll talk about the moon, and if you have something to contribute to it, it would be lovely. It's something that I feel affects us so much that it definitely would be just even everyone coming along with their with your feelings and expressions of what it means to you and how you're affected by the moon. So I leave you and love you, and have a lovely evening. I know some of you, it's later than it is here with us, and it's 8 o'clock here in Ireland, but have a lovely evening, have a lovely weekend and week ahead. Hope everything goes to plan, and do your homework, okay? Okay, God bless and take care.